Welcome to another adventure with Getting Lost. Today we're doing part 2 of our Chinatown adventure. As you can see, we're actually in Chinatown MRT station, heading out towards exit A to Pagoda Street. And Pagoda Street we actually covered in our part 1, which I will show you all around Pagoda Street and walking along Terengganu Street. And also, we also visited the Chinatown Food Street, where we just walk around, enjoyed the atmosphere, and looked at the nice architecture, and also walked past some of the nice food stalls, which was actually along here. This is the Smith Street, where the Chinatown Food Street is. So we actually walk along the Food Street, and at the end of Food Street, I actually introduced you to this place called Chinatown Complex. This is Chinatown Complex, a very colorful place. It's actually 3 stories. On the first story, ground floor, you have a lot of retail shops that sells a wide variety of things. On the second story is a food center, which has over 200 hawker stores where you can go and eat the food. And if you want to know more, I actually had a food adventure here. I made a few videos, which I will put the links and the description in the description below. So you just click on the link to find out more. So what do you find here? You find shops that sells religious items like Buddhas, and also here, this shop here sells items you need for your Chinese wedding. Okay. Other than that, they also sell clothes that you need for your everyday use. You know, some clothes also clothes for special occasions. There are tailors here, okay, and they also sell items for good luck, you know. And then they also have fortune tellers and tailors and a lot of variety of many shops. And on the basement one, there's actually a wet market which sells you food, okay, you know, like fish, meats, you know. So it's a very interesting place. It supports the area here, you know, with fresh foods and vegetables and all their daily needs. Okay, and on the weekends, under this this place here, this covered area, they are actually old Chinese men here who actually are playing Chinese chess. Okay. So if you're interested in that, you can come here and watch them. And in front of them, there's actually an open space, okay, which they call it the Kereta Ayer Square, which is normally empty. But today, since this was filmed during National Day, there's actually a line dancing event, probably organized by the community center. So you see people here with the Singapore national colors, which is red and white, doing line dancing. And in front there, that is the Buddha Tooth Temple, a very interesting place to visit. You can go in there, you can see a lot of Buddhas. And if you go to the front there, there's actually a lift or elevator that you can take to the 3rd floor onwards. There's actually a small museum over there where you can actually find a lot of religious relics there, you know, Buddhas and interesting stuff lah. So you can go there and you can actually have a look if you're interested. Okay, so this is Chinatown Complex. Okay, here used to be remainder of Sago Lane, but the shop houses that were here were all demolished to build Chinatown Complex and this HDB flat. And along Sago Lane itself, there's no longer any shop houses because it was all demolished. Anyway, so this is Smith Street. Okay, and we're going to walk along Sago Street at the moment, but before that, we just have a recap. That is the Food Street, and that is the old Opera House. And if you head to the right, is Sago Street. But before we go on to Sago Street, let's just have a look at some of the architectural aspects of the shop houses here, which has been preserved for our enjoyment. So if you continue walking down, you actually reach Sago Street. Of course, there's still a lot of shops selling souvenirs here, and if you can come during the night, this street itself is actually lighted up with stalls on both sides. But there's an interesting thing here. If you just go down for a short distance, there is this metal Buddha, where people believe that if you actually rub the Buddha on the belly, you get good luck. And you can actually see all the rubbing stains. They actually rub off some of the paint from the Buddha itself. So this is the Buddha where people believe that if you rub it in the belly, you get good luck. This is Sago Street, which is actually a one-way road that connects South Beach Road to Terengganu Road. The name is actually derived from the many sago factories that were located here in the 1840s. Sago flour is actually a starch ingredient that is used in making delicacies like cakes and pastries. That was a very profitable business in the 19th century. And along here, Sago Street and parallel street to my right, called Sago Lane, there were over 30 sago factories operating along these two roads. And when you can see here now, on my left is actually shop houses, on my right is actually the Buddha Tooth Temple. But in the past, shop houses would have lined both sides of the streets. Sago flour made here was exported overseas to India and even to Europe. However, the street gained infamy as being a place for brothels in the earlier part of the 20th century. And in 1901, there were about 14 prostitute dens on this street itself. A far different atmosphere it is now with the Buddha Tooth Temple here, isn't it? Deaf houses once lined both sides of Sago Lane. A deaf house was literally where the poor came to die. Most of Singapore's poor Chinese immigrants lived in overcrowded quarters where there was hardly enough space for the living, let alone the dying. This, coupled with the superstition of the dying in one's home, brought bad luck to the remaining residents, led to the establishment of deaf houses. Medical care and facilities at the deaf houses were minimal. For those who entered did not expect to recover. Rooms and dormitories offered the dying a place to rest, while the attached funeral parlor ensures a proper burial. A dead person would be laid out in a Chinese coffin surrounded by colorful paper effigies of worldly goods such as money, cars and houses. The effigies would then be burnt with some personal belongings. This ritual symbolizes the assurance that wealth and the comfort awaits him in the spirit world. As dismal as they were, deaf houses were a vital part of the Chinatown community. The street we're actually walking along beside now is South Bridge Road, and it's actually a historically important road. It was one of the main thoroughfares linking the town to the new harbour, which is Keppel Harbour. Along this street, there are some important and historic buildings. One of them is the Sri Mariamman Temple, which was first constructed out of wood and atap in 1827 and then converted into a brick and plaster temple in 1843. Another important building is the Jama'eh Mosque, which began as a brick structure in 1826 but was completed as a simple brick and plaster building between 1830 and 1835. Not only that, the first steam tramway actually ran the full length of the South Beach Road from 1886 to 1894. But it was actually shut down because it couldn't compete with the great number of rickshaws which were introduced in 1880. Then they actually built an electric tram from 1905 to 1927. Behind over there, diagonally, will be Club Street. I actually did another video regarding that location, which I will put in the description below if you're interested. And over here is Hong Lim Complex, where there's also another very good food center there, which serves very good food, but it operates weekdays for lunch. Indian hawkers selling goat's milk used to crowd the pavements of Cross Street and Upper Cross Street. Alongside the goat's milk stalls were cooked food stalls, spice shops, butcher stalls, and also shops selling lots of different types of sundries. The prevalent Indian milk stalls lent Cross Streets and Upper Cross Streets their identity. These streets were collectively known in Malay as Kampung Susu or Milk Village. The Chinese named Upper Cross Street after its ethnic concentration, calling it Kling Street, after the southern Indian kingdom of Kalinga, where many of these Indian immigrants came from. While the Indian traders carried on their businesses, the Chinese were also making their presence felt in another way. Upper Cross Street housed the headquarters of one of the largest and most powerful triads in Singapore and Malaya at that time, Hai San Gongxi. Masquerading as a job agency for Chinese coolies, it exercised fearsome control over the opium, prostitution, and slave trades. Thank you very much for joining me for my exploration of Chinatown. I hope you enjoyed it. This is very historical and very interesting. This is part 2. Part 3 coming up. I hope you'll be looking forward to that. And you know what to do. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what you see here. If you don't, still like, share, and subscribe. And join me for my next adventure. Bye bye.